What's up everyone, it's time for another react, and in this video it's Shine Breaks Melee. This video have gotten a lot of views, very popular video so far, and I mean, Shine is a pretty good move. So yeah, let's check out the video and see what was exactly said here.
I love Melee as a friend, but some things about it are a little messed up. Like how, due to Falco's model scale being set to 1.1 and Fox's being 0.96, Falco's Shine graphic, which is affected by the same scaling, is about 14% larger. But the developers made the actual hitbox of Falco's Shine 25% smaller than Fox's, which can make things look a little bizarre sometimes.
Bonfire's basically just been trying.
Is that what we call Fox privilege, chat? Is that what we call Fox privilege?
Trying to like regain composure for like a full minute straight, and I think this is gonna be okay.
Another tiny shine needs to be patched.
Like unironically needs to be patched.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. But just as an experiment, let's use Fox's Shine as a baseline, put it over Falco, then scale it down 25% to see how it'd look if Falco's were properly sized. Now, as much as I'd like to discuss different things in Melee, as I've done a couple times in the past, why don't we just continue focusing on Shine? I mean, it is Melee, and it's only fitting that we not only dedicate one video to the move, but dedicate another, completely separate video to it and how fucked up it is. Falco players will be pretty familiar with this phenomenon, sometimes called spooky stun, where after hitting an opponent with Shine, instead of being shot up with a few years of hit stun, their opponent is seemingly instantly able to act, which can occasionally lead to reversals, and sometimes even deadly ones.
He's so quick to start pressuring your Bobby's ledge and disrespect the idea that he's gonna ledge dash grab.
The Shine coming through and Mango reverses off of it and ends up getting the kill.
Surprisingly, this happens due to the same mechanic that makes jab resetting possible. That thing where you punch someone and it forces them to stand up. It works like this. When your opponent is landing from a missed tech, or laying flat on the ground from a missed tech, then hit with a move doing less than 7%, they're locked into a unique 13-frame animation called down damage, then forced to stand up. Which moves can put you into down damage? Well, any move that does less than 7%. Including moves with such high knockback that your opponent is airborne when down damage's 13 frames are over. For example, an adequately scaled Falco Shine. When this
Yeah, so far a great job on this video. He's like, you know, showing the numbers, making it very clear for the viewer. And honestly, like, this as a concept is very important to keep in mind. I mean, probably this concept impacts Falco the most, but I feel like Sheik is also a character where this type of concept is very common. So very important for players to keep this in mind, knowing which moves can, you know, possibly bring this out. So, you know, you don't get reversaled or pretty much, you know, get rid of your punish due to it. So yeah, very, very important concept. And honestly, something that probably goes relatively unnoticed by some people. Not everyone, of course, but by some people.
This happens, instead of being forced to stand up, which they obviously can't do in the air, players are put into the actionable fall state. This is the idea behind escaping jab resets with Smash DI. If you wiggle the control stick upward and get enough distance to be airborne when down damage ends, you'll avoid the dastardly forced getup. As far as the strange floating characters do while in Spooky Stun, this is due to the offending move's knockback. You see, while hit stun can be negated due to Spooky Stun, the move's actual knockback cannot. So while you're free to act after the down damage state ends in the air, if you were put into that state by a strong move, you'll still be under the effects of that particular move's knockback, until, as is typical, this knockback value is depleted to 0. That's why you sometimes see weird shit like this, where a character goes flying into the air after this phenomenon. When they jump, their new upward velocity is compounded with their vertical knockback value, causing them to soar up extremely quickly. And when you add a directional air dodge into the mix, you can go even higher. If you reach the top of the blast zone with 2.5 vertical knockback or more remaining, you can even kill yourself off the top despite not being in hit stun.
By the double laser S-Man. It works at every level, baby. Love it. Oh, that was... I like the idea. What?
That always looks so silly.
Hello.
What was that?
Yeah, it always looks so silly.
What was that?
What a sick game.
You know that cool thing Fox and Falcos do when they take a stock? When they run around like a chicken with its head cut off?
Cody's not done yet!
Well, there's an even cooler thing some of them will do, called the invisible shine. Amazing, isn't it? This pose, perhaps inspired by Dragon Ball, is normally obscured by the reflector's flashing animation, but by performing the aptly named invisible shine, we can take a nice, long look at it. Like so many techniques before it, this is possible through breaking the game. More specifically, through interrupting the transition between Shine's initial animation, the one containing its hitbox, and its looping, repeatable reflector animation that follows. If on frame 4 of Shine, the frame this transition happens, we go from the ground to the air, or from the air to the ground, Shine's graphic will simply not appear. This can be achieved in many ways. You can running Shine and slide off an edge on frame 4. You can jump up to a platform and land with Shine on frame 4. You can shine on a platform and drop down on frame 4. You can jump up a sloped surface and land on frame 4, among many other ways shown off in this video by legendary Fox main Silent Wolf, in which he teaches you to swag like dat boy. The invisible shine's counterpart, sometimes called the pseudoshine, is much more interesting in my opinion. Think of it as the opposite. Instead of going from the ground to the air or vice versa on frame 4, we do it on frame 1 of Shine. Doing this, instead of the reflector part of the move having no shine graphic, the initial hitbox part has no graphic. However, whereas an invisible shining Fox or Falco get to keep their reflector boxes, with the pseudo-shine, the duo lose Shine's initial 3 frames of flashing, their 1 frame of shine intangibility, on top of Shine's entire hitbox. You can do this pretty easily by just shining on the frame you land.
Nah, Kirby's broken. Look, he can dodge all the shines.
It
Kirby's
goes
the
without
best.
saying that this is much more relevant to competitive Melee, and can have an actual effect on matches. Thankfully though, the pseudo-shine is surprisingly very rare, despite the requirements being not so crazy. In fact, good Fox and Falco players like Mango, Moki, Cody, and I do frame-perfect jump cancel shines all the time, which are, of course, shines done on the exact frame a character becomes airborne after inputting a jump. This alone, though, isn't what causes Shine to lose its hitbox. On top of this frame-perfect maneuver, for the game to decide you were too perfect, you also have to be moving up a slope, which are on 3 of Melee's 6 tournament legal stages. Or, 2, I guess. Moving up a slope while doing this technique immediately grounds you, causing a relatively easily performed pseudo-shine. You can do it here, you can do it here, and you can even do it here on this tiny little slant.
Yeah,
More commonly
I love the fact that this is brought up. I mean, actually, like, over the years, like, I've seen and heard a lot of people that don't know about this. But, like, for example, like, if you play, like, Sheik or Falcon, like, trying to land in that spot, if you have a Fox trying to, like, wave shine you to the other side of the stage, that's actually, like, something you should be looking for as well. Like, this specific spot.
With the slope trick, though, I see shines lose their hitbox due to players being pushed off of surfaces and shining on the exact frame they're pushed off. Sometimes you'll see players land on a platform and shine on the same frame as well, which also eats their hitbox.
Yeah, like the FOD thing as well is like, okay, it's not like entirely exactly the same thing here, but like the thing with the FOD, if you land on the right spot, it's almost like you're too high up, so you can like reversal Fox afterwards. So yeah, I mean, not exactly the same thing, but something still worth mentioning.
Can someone tell me where did my shine go?
Finally,
Poor
there's a
Cody.
goofy thing called a shine mine that I've already talked about, so I won't bother repeating myself. I think it's more important to let the things I haven't talked about shine. For now, though, I'm gonna make like a shine and disappear.
Yeah, Shine is an interesting move, just like all of Melee. But yeah, I mean, very, very classy production on the video. I think a lot of people learned quite a lot. So yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Not only mine, but of course, the original creator of this video as well. And hope you all enjoyed this react. Peace.